Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary. This is something about vintage. I went thrift shopping yesterday and I thought I would share what I found. At the end, I'll show you a haul of the items that I picked. And this is Benji. So if you hear my dog, he's right here. He won't let me do this alone. So I showed him earlier, but here he is again. Okay, so what I will do is I'll just kind of go over the items. So in the video, you'll probably see me putting things in the cart and well, maybe you won't see me taking them out of the cart, but what I always do is I always go through the items before I check out to make sure there aren't any cracks. Because trust me, I have gotten burned so many times where I get home and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that crack, or I didn't see that it was, because sometimes they glue it really well. And sometimes I don't care. Like if I'm not gonna sell it in my store, no big deal. I can, I'll just keep it as is. Because sometimes it is nice to find like really cool vintage pieces for the time I'm shopping for my store. So some of these items I'm actually gonna keep for myself, and some of these items I'm on the fence. And I'll kind of go over it and let you know why I'm on the fence and why I purchased it and what my thoughts were behind it. So yeah, so let's get started. So the first item that I got, in no particular order, purchased these. Okay, let me preface by saying glass, for whatever reason, doesn't sell very well for me. However, I find it to be so beautiful, or crystal. But I found these really cool candlestick holders, and you could actually turn it upside down and you could put like a pillar candle as well. So pretty, I thought. Felt like it was multi-purpose. Want to decorate your dining room table or your coffee table, really anywhere. But I just thought they were really pretty, and that's how I envisioned it when I purchased it. Okay, this was probably one of the first things that I picked up. Maybe it was the second, but nonetheless. First, I think I only saw these two on the table, and you may see me grabbing these, and then I think I turned off the camera and I saw this. So, and then I saw that there was three, and I was like, oh, that's pretty. And just to kind of give you a little bit of a reference, yes, this is very fall-like, but I'm already hunting for things that are fall. Like I'm always thinking about the seasons ahead. Even though we're in the springtime, most consumers are always just thinking about the season that we're in, which is really common because I've done the same thing. And we get inspired by what we see, and we want to purchase those items and we want to bring them home. Well, I'm already thinking about the fall. And how I see this is maybe like on someone's mantle. You can also even, I don't know, just to make it pretty. I mean, come on now. Everything we buy pretty much is for beautification. We're not really buying anything for like function for the most part. I think everything for function we've already owned. So I bought these and I just thought they were beautiful. I don't necessarily think that they're vintage, but I just thought they were pretty, even if it's just for staging in my booth. This was another item that I purchased. I think this is probably from like the 1970s, I would imagine. It has like leaves. I don't know if you can see that. It has like leaves, and to me it looks like raspberries. When I think of that, I think of that movie, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Schnozberries. I don't know where I was going with that, but nonetheless, it reminded me of that. So I loved it. And so, yeah, I thought it was super duper cute. So the next item, okay. I literally just put one of these in my booth. However, the one in my booth had a piece of glass in it, and this one doesn't have a piece of glass in it. But let me tell you why I bought it. So let me show you what it is first. It's this, I'm drawing a frame. It's a brass frame. And I just put one in my booth. The one I put in my booth, I think is better quality. I think this is maybe like a knockoff of the one that I put in my booth, because it doesn't have the hanging thing that the one that I put in my booth has. And obviously it didn't have the glass. The one I put in my booth has a piece of glass. Anyways, going off on a tangent here like I always do, bear with me. So what I was thinking of doing with this piece is I buy a lot of like embroidery pieces. Like sometimes they're not in a frame, or they're just like someone started an embroidery, but what they've created is super pretty and all it requires is a nice little frame. And I thought, if I come across something like that, which I do often, trust me, I just leave them because I'm like, but now I could actually pop it in a frame. And I have purchased some, but they won't fit in this one. But sometimes they're little ones, and I leave those behind because I'm always like, I don't know. Anyways, now, not that you care, but now you know. That's why I bought that one. So the other thing that I bought, I'm more of a brass girl. I'm not really into silver. There was a time in my life where silver was my favorite thing in the whole wide world, and I didn't like brass or gold. I found it to be tacky. Now I can't get enough of it. But rumor mill has it that silver or silver plated is coming back. And honestly, it's very pretty in the wintertime. It's beautiful at Christmas, or maybe you just don't like gold and you don't like brass and you're more of a silver person. I bought this tray. I thought it would be so pretty, maybe like in a bathroom. You could roll up your towels and you could put them on there, or you could put some like nice, pretty decorative soap, or even your kitchen. Like I just thought that was pretty. Or you could put a candle on here, and you could put maybe like some pretty like moss around it, or like for Easter, you could put a candle on there or two, and then you could put like some faux grass, and then you could put some Easter eggs around it. It could be like your centerpiece for table or your coffee table or wherever you want to put it, wherever it fits in your home. But that's how I saw that in my mind. Okay, so this one, you may see it in the video, but from a distance. It was like on an end cap, and I love it. I love old metal boxes and things like that. I just think they're cool. And I couldn't pass up the color. This color was fabulous. You can see my ring light there. But that's what that is. And it's lovely. It has the key to it. All you do is you I was struggling to open this, and I'm thinking of those QVC infomercials where the bloopers where they're like, it works wonderful, and then it breaks. That's what this reminds me of. I'm like struggling to freaking open it. Anyways, it's old, whatever, it's vintage. So that's what the inside looks like. I just thought that was funny. My brain always goes to the most random things. So bear with me, I'm a little odd. But that's what makes us unique, right? Okay, so these other things are not vintage, but I just like them. One of them I thought would look really cool in my daughter's room. Honestly, I didn't even ask her if she wanted it in her room, but I thought it would be cute. Or the other option is I just changed my booth at Vintage Holes in Modesto, California, and I can't reach the top, and most customers won't be able to reach the top. But I thought that this would be like a really cool piece to have light shining down from the top to the bottom, illuminating the rest of my space. Again, it's not super vintage. Actually, it's not vintage at all. I'm sure it was very new, but it's really pretty. So look at, I like this like faux wood, and I love the rope that the wire has, the electrical wire to it. And I'm sure it's not, I'm sure it is a knockoff of something vintage, I'm sure. So anyways, and that's what I thought. I was like, you know what, this could go at the top of a hedge. I'll insert a picture of what my booth looks like and kind of give you an idea of what the heck I'm even talking about, because I make no sense right now. So that's what I intend to do with it if my daughter Olivia doesn't want it for her room. And honestly, I think I'm just gonna put it in the booth because it's super cute. I mean, if someone wants to buy it, they can. I'll put a price tag on it, but it's not vintage. And I'm okay with that. There's nothing wrong. It's secondhand. I rescued it from the landfill. That's how I feel. So there you go. So the other thing that I got, again, this one is not vintage either, but it's vintage inspired, and I have a vision for it. Booth. And it's, again, at the very, very top. So it is this, it looks like a mini horse trough. And I think it's intended for drinks, because it had a sticker on there that says, be careful of drowning. Obviously back in the 60s and 70s, ain't nobody gonna be putting that in there. And I really liked it. So how I envisioned doing it in my booth, again, I was gonna put it at the top, greenery draping over it, so it kind of cascades over. And so it gives it a little bit of texture at the top of my booth. And yeah, so that's what I'm planning on doing. So I'll probably go to Michael's and try to find something pretty to put in there, and just to kind of have it cascade. It's pretty shallow. Again, I think what it was used, its intended purpose was for cold drinks. So like if you're having a party and you put ice in there, maybe line it with plastic so it doesn't get rusty, but line it with plastic and then put ice in there. Another item that I got, and I understand that not all glass sells well, but this personally I thought was absolutely beautiful. Look at how sweet this is. It's super heavy. As you know, glass is super duper heavy. I'm not certain if this is vintage. It kind of gives me that vintage feel to it because of the scalloped edges. It feels very like maybe 1950s, even 1960s. I'm not really sure, but nonetheless, I thought it was pretty. Either use it as a fruit bowl to keep on your table or on your counter, or you can do like those real, if you're like a baker or a semi-baker, as I like to call them, you could put like, I don't know, I'm thinking like banana cream pie, not pie, banana cream pudding, or I don't know, it has like, there's like a meal that I'm thinking of and I'm drawing a blank as far as what it's called, but it has like graham crackers and like whipped cream and bananas and all kinds of yummy goodness. Anyways, I'm on a diet right now, so all I'm thinking about is all the yummy food. So sorry. These are probably not vintage. However, I thought they had a vintage feel to them and I loved them. So I bought them and I wasn't even really sure what the maker was. Thrift store is notorious for putting stickers right where the maker's mark is, and that always makes it difficult. And I try to like scrape it off, and I'm not the only one because I see a lot of stickers like that. Anyways, I'm rambling about these cute little like bowls. I call them ice cream bowls, and that's probably what they were intended for. So I lucked out. They're Crate and Barrel, made in Portugal. So obviously they're probably not vintage. They could be like vintage in the sense like maybe from like the 90s or early 2000s. And some people like to say vintage is 20 plus years, minimum of 20. And I'm going with that. So vintage is 20 years, in my opinion. I almost forgot. So I purchased this cute little pouch. I think it's like for travel. Okay, so I have my bag that I take with me whenever I go to my booth to like do cleanup, or I need to do markdowns or whatever the case may be. And I have a Ziploc bag of all my markers and pens and things of that nature. And I don't want that. I want it to be pretty. So I thought, you know what? I could put my markers and pens in here and it'll look pretty and I'll know exactly what's in it. I don't need to see the contents of it. I already know. So I bought that. Okay, so the other item that I purchased, it was like kind of hidden in the back. I don't recall recording this if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I don't think I recorded this. It was like at the very end. My husband was looking at stuff and I was waiting for him to finish. And which is really funny because normally he's always waiting for me, but for some reason, yesterday was the exception. I was waiting for him. Okay, so on with the story. So I purchased this bag. Obviously, it isn't designer, but it's a cute little camera bag. Ooh, there's a paper in here. I don't know. Anyways, okay, so it works perfect. It kind of gives me Louis Vuitton vibes, to be honest. I love the strap, and honestly, I bought it for the strap, more so than the bag. I have a bag that I had purchased at, it's an LV bag. No, that's a lie. It was a Coach bag and it was missing the strap. So I was using a different strap from another purse, but the patina doesn't quite match. And honestly, I don't think the patina on this will match either, but look at how pretty. It's that beautiful golden patina. It's beautiful. It's very well made. Again, I have no idea. I haven't even Google lensed it to see what it is or if it's anything of value, but I paid maybe like $8-9. I didn't pay very much. It seems like it's in very good condition. So yeah, it's great. So the last thing that I purchased was this little guy. It says, "Whom do I love? Yum." That's whom. It's so cute, right? I love it. And I actually have one up there for myself. And that one is, it has something to do about a scale. I'll insert a little picture in here so you guys can see it. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. And if you like this type of content, I would appreciate a follow. Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Bye.